You can only fight the way you practice. Miyamoto Musashi, master swordsman. And Miyamoto Musashi is exactly correct. That's why we talk about practice trading, fractional trading. Why it is so important for you to practice, 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 because you're only going to fight the way you practice if you do it half-ass. If that is, you note a few things down, you follow it. I would have done this, I would have done that. No. That's why we have the trade worksheet, so you can track yourself. That's why we have the daily market worksheets, weekly market worksheets. We have spiral bound copies, 3 months worth, that of course you can purchase. But hey, we're not asking you for money. Just go to the website and you will see under each day's edition of the daily review, there are links to the PDFs. If you're a subscriber for free at chartingwealth.com, you'll get our trainings too, plus those PDFs are in your show notes every day. The training for you today is backing away to see what's really happening. That's what we do on Wednesday evenings. We step back and look at the weekly chart. Very, very important to do. It gives you the mindset you need for victory. I'm going to put at the end of today's video the training that we have on fractional trading. Those of you who don't know what that's about, many of the online brokerage firms now allow you to put in $50, $100. You can buy a fractional share. If you look at something like the S&P 500, it trades at $300+. Well, what if you just decided once you got good at practice trading that, hey, I'm going to buy $50 worth, a fractional share of SPY. And I'm going to practice and see how well I can do with that $50. Can I actually follow a weekly vertical crossover or a 2-day recross and make it work? Well, again, that's what the training is about today. I'm going to put that at the end of today's show. But the training that's in the show notes for all of our subscribers is backing away. Let's jump into these charts. We see stocks are up. Bonds are down, gold is up. Let's move through the S&P 500. What's it doing? It's forming a new candle, a green up candle, but not reaching a higher high. As we can see, price percent oscillators lost a little bit of energy. Derivative oscillator losing some momentum. Go to the 2-day chart. Crossed over going down on Tuesday. First day of the latest one is a green spinning top trying to move up. Well, is that a spinning top? It's hard to see with the, yes it is, a little bit. Green open box spinning top. We see that the price percent oscillator is still barely negative. It's really laminated there. We'll see how the market goes on Thursday. Is it up or down? What happens? Does this stay laminated? If so, we'll stick with the down move. If it starts to pull away sharply, then again, we'll call that a bounce off, but we don't like those. We like the market to move in decidedly one direction or the other. When it starts getting sloppy, we start getting concerned. So we'll watch, see what there is to see there as the 2-day candle ends on Thursday afternoon. Keep your eye on it. We see things up in the morning, further up in the afternoon as far as that half-day chart goes. We still see that the price percent oscillator is negative, as is the derivative oscillator on the half-day chart. Let's move on to the Nasdaq 100. Oh, by the way, S&P up 1.23%. Nasdaq 100, which is the QQQ, that is up 1.15. We look at what we're seeing on the weekly chart. We have a red open box. Well, that's almost a doji. So again, indecision. We see the price percent oscillator sliding sideways, derivative oscillator losing upward momentum. Go to the 2-day chart. Remember, it crossed over going down back on Friday the 24th of July. And we see things so far, green spinning top, derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum, price percent oscillator still heading down even with the up day. And we see on the half-day chart up movement in the morning, more up in the afternoon. Still negative on the price percent oscillator and the derivative oscillator, price sitting right there on the 2-day trend line. So we'll keep our eye on things there, see what the cues are going to do. If you look at the movement, you can see that I mean, check this out. Look at all the weeks of solid up movement for such a long time. And maybe it's just digesting those gains and going to move higher. Maybe it's ending. Maybe the bull trap is being sprung. We'll continue to watch, wait and see. Happy to make money on the way up and make money on the way down in our practice trades. Whatever's happening, our job is to chart the market. We have inverse funds to help us practice trade successfully when things go down. And of course, we have the regular funds to help us when things go up. Let's move on to bonds. Down for the day, just a little bit, 0.17%, but we see things still plugging away with the green up candle forming. Price percent oscillator still negative. A little more than flat. Looks like it's heading up a little bit. Derivative oscillator's gone green. Will we have a crossover going up, a weekly vertical crossover going up by the end of the week? Don't know. Might happen. We see energy shaving off a little bit on the price percent oscillator on the 2-day chart. Red open box candle, which means a slowdown in the up movement. Price still above that 2-day trend line. Derivative oscillator almost flat. We go to the half-day chart. What do we see there? Well, down movement in the morning, piercing the, again, not so strong 4-hour trend line or half-day trend line in the afternoon, still above the 2-day trend line. So we'll continue to watch, see what there is to see there, see what bonds are going to do. Remember, if bonds go up, typically that's because stocks are going to be heading down. Usually there's an inverse relationship. We'll wait and see how things sort out because they haven't sorted out yet. Bonds are still in a confirmed down move on that weekly chart until they cross. Let's go to gold, up 0.75%. Isn't gold just beautiful? We had that weekly vertical crossover going up, our jumping in point somewhere around the 166 mark. That was back on the week ending the 26th of June. And isn't it beautiful now on the 29th of July? Up from 166 to a high of 186. That's about 20 bucks in anybody's pocket, and that is beautiful for a successful practice trade. And again, look at that big up candle, that hockey stick on the price percent oscillator, derivative oscillator moving up. 2-day chart, first day, the latest 2-day candle, again moving up above the 2-day trend line, price percent oscillator going up. Derivative oscillator, half day, again just moving right up the trend line. That's beautiful. Price percent oscillator is losing some momentum. Derivative oscillator still winding down. But again, gold is looking quite pretty. Folks, that's where we are as we end the day. If those are the charts you're interested in, we have a few more charts to cover with you for those who are interested in Bitcoin, real estate, and oil. But for those of you who just follow our 4 big charts, we are done. If you hear us on the broadcast and you hear what we're talking about and you're like, what is that? What is the bottom line with all this? It's simplicity, and it's all explained very well in our book, Charting Your Way to Wealth. Follow the link in the show notes, and you can have a signed, autographed copy shipped to you wherever you are in the world. Charting Your Way to Wealth. And like I said earlier, we also have 3-month spiral-bound copies of our Trader's Journal, which includes daily market worksheet, once a week weekly market worksheet, and plenty of trade worksheets so you can do your practice trades. You can also print those PDFs out for free. But again, thanks so much for being with us. Let's jump into Bitcoin, up for the day 0.46%. Isn't that a beautiful green up candle after Bitcoin had been sliding sideways and down for quite a while? Boom, the price percent oscillator spiking up, derivative oscillator's gone positive. Big green up candle, 2-day chart, crossed over back on Tuesday. Did you guys jump in then? And then we see it going even higher on Wednesday. That was a 2-day recross. And of course, we told you that might be coming. And of course, what do we see as far as the half day? We see things just leveling out there over the last day and a half. So again, that's what we're seeing. Up for the day 0.46%. If you're interested in practice trading Bitcoin, that 2-day crossover, recross is what we call it, when the 2-day chart's gone in the opposite direction of the weekly and then moves back over in the same direction. That, my friends, is called a 2-day recross. Not as good as a weekly vertical crossover for jumping in, but again, it is pretty many times. And that's why we backtrack and make sure that for the chart you're looking at, it works 90+% of the time. That's sort of our rule. You want to have weekly vertical crossovers work 90% of the time. You want to have 2-day recrosses that you count on working 90% of the time. How well have our crossovers on our 4 big charts worked this year on the S&P 500, Nasdaq 100, 20-year bonds and gold? 12 out of 13 times. That's 90+%. Now, let's move on to real estate. The Vanguard Real Estate Investment Trust Exchange Traded Fund. We see up for the day 1.94%. That's nice. We have a green spinning top for the week, green open box. We see the derivative oscillator about flat. That's good because it's been going down for many weeks. Price percent oscillator heading up on the weekly chart today. Check it out, my friends, trying to cross over for you. And again, that candle will finish drawing when? At the close of the market on Thursday. So check it out around 350 on Thursday. If you're interested in practice trading real estate, then you probably want to look at buying it on your practice trade around 350 if it's still looking good there. Also check out your smallest chart. You see it going up in the morning and the afternoon. It's been going up, what now? 2.5 days. So that's beautiful. Again, like to see that. May change tomorrow. So again, pay attention. Check it out. What about USO, which is oil, up 0.75%. Now remember, we had that weekly vertical crossover back on the 2nd of July. And it's ever so carefully continuing to move up. This week, not reaching as high a high as it had the prior week, is up for the day. Derivative oscillator losing momentum, but that price percent oscillator steadily pulling away from the red signal line. What about the 2-day chart? That's where you see where things peaked back on Wednesday, the 22nd. We do have a green open box candle that's forming. That's pretty. Price percent oscillator is about flat. Derivative oscillator losing momentum. And the 4-hour chart up movement in the morning. A little bit of a pullback there in the afternoon. Again, made for an up day though, but the price percent oscillator still negative. Derivative oscillator losing downward momentum. So that's where we are, my friends. I know some of you are interested in silver. Again, silver down for the day, 0.88%. You can still see a nice big green up candle forming today. Bit of a slowdown in the up movement. And of course, that 4-hour chart, look at all that weakness sliding sideways. 1, 2, 3 days. So again, has silver topped or is it just gaining its momentum? Well, it's not crossed over going down yet, but as always, pay very close attention to the 2-day and the weekly. And again, that 2-day showing some weakness, but pay close attention to what it does on Thursday when that candle wraps up. That's where we are, friends. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters. By the way, one last thing for our Patreon supporters, our live Patreon Q&A. That is our live call-in for our Patreon members is going to be next Wednesday, the 5th of August. Hope you'll be there with us, 12:30 Eastern Daylight Time. If you're interested in being a Patreon supporter, it starts for as little as $1 a day. And you get all the special inside training. And of course, we even analyze the stocks and ETFs that you're very interested in practice trading and have those live once-a-month sessions. Check it out in the show notes. Find out more. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.